How much does housing come for? They'll bet ke loot rahe hain and making video of this. Fun fact, 88% of you watching this video might not be subscribed to my channel. So if you like my content, consider subscribing. What's up my dudes, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Nandan. I'm an industrial engineering and economics junior. Right about, holy shit, I'm old. Today's video is going to be about fees, specifically tuition fees, because it is expensive to go to college in the US as an international student, knowing that you're going to leave in 4 or maybe 5 years with one piece of paper that is supposedly going to determine your worth. There's alcohol in this. I'm kidding. It has been a while, and obviously clearly I've upgraded shit, and I'm so excited because I bought this with my own money. So maybe you tried this, maybe you haven't, but looking at the cost of attendance as an international student for any university you're planning to attend can be a little challenging, because the university's website would just give you the tuition fee as is and not, like, you know, include all the other stuff like your food. Maybe housing is given or not given, sometimes it depends on where you're going. And other miscellaneous expenses are not included in that. So today my hope is to share with you those expenses for me in a manner that is, you know, transparent enough so that you know how much it's gonna cost. My hope in making this video is to shine some light on the expenses that the university doesn't make so obvious. Not that they're hiding it, just that they don't, you know, include it on their website. It's literally, that's the only explanation I have. Now do keep in mind that I'm an undergrad student, I'm not a graduate student, so that everything that I say is going to be in terms of like the tuition fee and all that stuff for undergrads specifically. As for an undergraduate student, when it comes to solely tuition and housing, you're going to end up paying about $55,000 a year, which means that if you stay for a 4-year degree, you're going to end up spending $220,000 just on the number that the university gave you for a piece of paper. America is great, they said. Don't go to Canada, they said. UK is an option, they said. But yet, here we are. Now, summer classes are split into like 3 different sessions. There's 4-week long sessions, 8-week long sessions, and 12-week long sessions, all of which obviously cost a different amount. If you're interested in staying for a summer semester because you either want to graduate faster, let's say, or you just want to take classes because you don't want to be jobless over the summer, then you could go to enroll.wisc.edu, or if you're still not a UW Madison student yet, you can still go to public.enroll.wisc.edu. It's so many dots. So every semester you would be spending around like $20,000 to $22,000 just on your tuition fee. Housing is another thing on its own. So as a student at UW Madison, you have 2 choices for housing. One is to stay on campus housing, and the second is to stay on off-campus housing, which is where I'm staying right now. Both have their pros and cons. I would say you would want to stay on campus housing at least in your first year. The amount of stupid shit you can do in a dorm and try to get away with is insane. So depending on which dorm you stay in your first year, or like if you're a returning housing student, whichever dorm you stay in, your fee is going to vary based on that. So the minimum I found, including your dining plan when you sign up for housing, is $10,000. That's for the entire year. So you will pay 10 grand for both, like wherever you stay and for your food account, given that you eat on UW Madison dining halls, in UW Madison dining halls. Now obviously that's not a requirement, it's just if you sign up for housing, there's the good dorms usually have like a, you know, place to eat below. Smith used to have Newell's, but now that's RIP Newell's. There's a Starbucks over there, so if you want to stay in Smith, you have a Starbucks on your ground floor, so that's but you still have to pay using your credit card for that. So the thing about on-campus housing is that your fee depends on how many people you stay with, which residence hall you stay on, and what dining plan you pick. Now the dining plan has 3 tiers. I would say the second one is like the safest to go with for your first try, because it has like 13-ish meals a week or something. I don't know what the actual figure is, but basically the way that they approximate that is by taking like $5 to $6 per meal, which tends to be kind of accurate. So here's actually an interesting thing I did in my first semester at UW Madison. So I noted down like everything I ate during the day and how much I paid for it in like my first semester at UW Madison, just to see how much I, like, you know, spend on food itself. And it turns out every day I spend around like $15 to $20 on food, depending on what day it is. Some days I don't eat, the other days I eat like a fucking madman. Funnily enough. So on a Saturday I wrote like $9 for lunch, $6 for drinks, $22 for party, and in brackets I wrote infrequent expense only. If only first year Nandan knew Nandan now. So which dining plan you pick really doesn't matter, because even if you pick tier 3, all of that money will still get it's still yours. The university is not going to eat all of that stuff up, so it's okay. One more thing to note is that the money that you put into your housing and dining account can't be taken out of that and used for something else. Here's why. So your Wiscard has 2 different accounts. One is your dining account, which is solely for food spending, and the other is basically everything else. If you want to print your clothes, who prints clothes? If you want to print something at the engineering buildings, for example, you could use that money from that. If you want to wash your clothes down in your residence hall, if it has a place to wash your clothes, you could use that. Now, there is I'm still not 100% sure on where all you can use your dining account, but I just know that you can't use your dining account to pay for laundry, because I have had instances where I had to reload my Wiscard account with my phone while sitting on the floor in the laundry room, because I didn't have money in the other account. So depressing times. So if you're staying on campus housing and you do sign up for the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 dining plans, whichever one you pick, your money will automatically be loaded onto your dining account. So there's nothing that you have to do after paying that fee to make sure that you get to eat food. Now, if you do want to print stuff or do laundry and all that other stuff, this has to go in your other account. So that is what you will have to refill on your own using the Wiscard account, which is an app thing on. Go to my.wisc.edu, you'll find it. So once again, reiterating on everything that I've said, it costs about 55 grand to go to UW Madison as an international student every year. That is along with housing if you stay on campus. If you're staying off campus, your housing will probably be a little more or a little less expensive depending on which part of campus you stay on, or off campus, which area in the city you stay on, and also based on how many people you stay with. So maybe for some of you, money is actually a huge factor in deciding where you go, and I respect that. That's not I'm not in any sort of position to comment on what you're doing. If you do want to know more about scholarships and all that stuff, check out iss.wisc.edu. That is iss.wisc.edu, because that's the International Student Services website, and they do have pretty helpful tips on scholarships and all that stuff you could apply to. I personally haven't looked into it too much, because when I did, the max scholarship that I found at the time was $5,000, which is nothing compared to $55,000 a year. So I was why? You could check that out if you want to make some extra cash, or something else that you could do, which I did to pay for this, the light, the mic, and pretty much everything, all my video equipment, my drone too, is get a campus job. So I got my campus job this summer, which is because of which I could save up enough money to buy myself all of these things that I'm using it. It is not a waste. Don't look at me like that. So getting an on-campus job will help pay for some of the stuff. Maybe it could help pay for your food, or maybe it could help pay for your party expenses. I'm just going to say. And that somewhere might just help you feel better, for the fact that you're not spending more than you should, if I put it in a certain way, because the money you earn at that point is yours. So I don't know. I'm not a financial guru, because obviously I'm just sitting here broke as shit, spending all my money on this. So I don't know, man. You tell me. Now, realistically, you will want to spend money on other stuff too, which is if that's shopping for stuff like this monitor, which did not come with this room or with Smith, because obviously, why will they give? So obviously, this isn't the only stuff you're going to spend on. I would say save up. If it's your first year coming to UW Madison, you will shop for other stuff like monitors, lamps, desktops, computers, all that stuff. So I'm estimating that is going to be 5,000 max, probably, depending on again what you get. Maybe 4 to 5 grand is a good amount to save to get stuff like this. A microwave for your room in the residence halls, because they don't give microwaves with the residence halls. Lights and all that stuff. I have a desk lamp on this side, which is lighting this part of my face. That, I don't know, picked it up from Target, came for $30. Aside from all those expenses to make your room look good, like these string lights do, you would also want to spend on other stuff. If you miss home from time to time, I don't know, say you're from India, you're from China, you're from anywhere but the US, and you miss home cooked food, then you will want to order that food. But the thing with ordering that food is it costs so much. So $40 for fucking paneer. If you give the same amount of money you spend on that food to a restaurant in Bombay, they will salute you and give you food for the rest of your life. As far as the number of times I've ordered this stuff goes, I spend about $40 every 2 weeks or 3 weeks, mostly every 3 weeks, ordering food from this amazing Indian restaurant called Amber. To recap what I've said in this video, you spend $55,000 on tuition. If it's your first year, you will spend, say, a little bit more on, depending on where you stay for housing, how many credits you take, which is also included in your tuition fee. You will also spend more depending on how much you order from outside, how many times you go to party every week, and what your party expenses are. You know who I'm looking at, right? And if you do happen to make YouTube videos and, you know, buy drones and stabilizers and stuff for yourself, you'll end up spending on that too. Basically get a campus job. If you want anything extra, just get a campus job, because then you won't feel guilty about buying the stuff. So guys, I hope you found that video helpful. I'm not gonna lie, the main reason I wanted to make this video is because this lighting setup is good and I needed like a good sit down and talk thing, so I can spend time color grading this to make my face look good. Actually, to make everything look good. My face, I already look handsome. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you found some value from this, feel free to comment below and let you know. Yeah, comment below to let you know what you thought about me. So